All right, starting to break a little sweat. Gonna keep on moving at a decent pace. Backpack feels great. No issues there. I busted my shoulder last week, and I haven't done a video really on this either, but I have a boosted board, the Stealth, and I cruise around the city in Boston where I live using it. It gets me around, and everything seemed to pile up. All the problems happened right before the outbreak, and I couldn't get anything fixed in my life in terms of like all the things that were breaking. And then my car broke down, and I had to boost it everywhere for a month. I just recently got my car back. It's really like more like 3 months I've been boosting around just because I wasn't able to fix my car, and my car itself had a spark plug issue, and so I didn't want to drive it to ruin it, of course. And so I had to get all the spark plugs and the fuel injectors replaced, around $800. But now it's running good. I drove up to New Hampshire today, no problem. First really test drive on the road to make sure it's not going to fall apart on me, and it's working good. But back to my shoulder, I had been boosting around, and I was so excited to go pick up my car. I was riding over to Cambridge, and I pulled an ultimate amateur move, amateur hour. I know better. Anybody who boards knows better. And I want to guess if anybody really thinks they know what I did to hurt my shoulder on a boosted board. Obviously I fell, but it was how I fell that was upsetting and totally silly. I basically was riding, and I crossed some train tracks, and I thought I could make it. And so I kind of sped up, and with a board moving forward, for those who board a lot, the forward momentum in a board really gives you, when you're not connected to something, usually on a skateboard or a board, when you have forward momentum, it'll kind of kick itself up and go over the bumps. And so a lot of time, if you're going faster, you can usually clear stuff. Now, obviously, a lot of people are going to be rubbed the wrong way by saying, well, you're bound to get hurt going faster. And yeah, if you're not good at riding, you got to be careful, because you can seriously hurt yourself. And I have been riding, not necessarily skateboarding my whole life, but I've been snowboarding my whole life. And I very comfortable with snowboarding. I switch. I ride switch all the time, both ways. I do it on the boosted board. I feel super comfortable riding. And so what I'm getting at is, it wasn't really a riding error, it was a judgment error. And it wasn't my ability, it was just me not thinking about what I've learned with riding boards. And anybody who's like a skateboarder, anybody who longboards, who does anything, will know exactly what I'm talking about. The number one golden rule is you don't ride over cracks, specifically train tracks, because you're always going to get caught, and there's a lot of people that hurt themselves that way. So, long story short, I kind of Supermaned it, going about 15, 20 miles an hour on my boosted board in the air, across some train tracks in Cambridge, going to pick up my car, and busted my shoulder. Went to go get x-rays, and I was really scared. I thought I broke something. My shoulder was really swollen up. It was a bone. My collarbone was protruding. But it ended up just being, I tore a lot of muscle, and it just swelled up a lot. So about a week later, the results are, I have a very, very deep ache. It still hurts. My shoulder hurts to move, but there's no bruising on the outside, and it doesn't really look like anything happened, because it's a very deep tear that happened to my shoulder. So it's going to take a while to heal, a couple of weeks, and I don't know if it's the smartest thing, you putting a backpack on my back, but I was just so antsy to get up here and get out in the wilderness that I said, screw it. I'm aching, sitting on my couch, quarantining, doing what everybody, the city tells you to do. Why would I be doing that when I can just be up here, getting fresh air, healing up here, mental healing, physical healing, everything. And so I said, screw it, I'm going. I have all this fun stuff I want to share, and I want to get back into YouTubing stuff. So it's pretty much what happened. So I guess since I'm getting into it, I'll kind of just make sure my tripod is tight. I can adjust the handle so I can hold it at an angle and talk at a better angle for everybody. That's better, right? So I guess since I'm getting into it, I'll talk about where I've been the past year, why my videos stopped. So those of you who know me, you know I've always kind of been doing my own thing, trying to run a small company. It's called DigiFX. And so basically what we do at DigiFX is we do a lot of digital media, classic digital media, web, motion, video, animation, you name it, a lot of media stuff. That's just something I've been trying to do for almost a decade. I started like 15 years ago. And in the last couple of years, I pivoted into the experiential AR, VR space, wearables, stuff like, I have a Magic Leap, which unfortunately we all know what recently happened with them, but you get the point. So I've been pivoting into that space. So in my company, I have been building it's a platform I call Oasis Core. It's essentially a platform that you can use to create these immersive experiences. You can be sold to companies, and you build stuff out for consumers. Essentially, it's just getting all the technologies to work together, the geolocation, the AR, the navigational aspects, the cloud management, the player profiling, all the things you'd expect in a video game. Not necessarily to use, but to have. I just want to take a break and show you that. Pretty cool. Let's see. Oh! Fell into a gap there, but you can see it's a nice, beautiful day on the trail. But anyways, so I've been working on this platform. I started about 5 years ago working on it. Really, in the past year or two, I really started building up the brand and getting interest for it. And, I've put together a team. I've built out some apps. An app called Oasis Live. It's an adventure geo game, very similar to what I'm doing now, but a video game. And I'm building out concept pilots for other conceptual apps that use those same kind of technologies. And because of that, it's taken up a big amount of my time and resources and energy and creativity and all the things I would usually put in a video like this. And my experience with YouTube is that I think anybody can be really good at YouTube if they have the resources, the time, and the creativity. I don't think you necessarily have to have talent to make YouTube videos. And no offense to the people that make really awesome videos. I think it just comes down to you got to know how to sell it. You got to know how to. I've never been a fan of clickbait. I think clickbait's a cheap way to make a buck, but it's the world we live in. But YouTube is always kind of one of those things you have to put a lot of energy into and effort. And quite frankly, it's really hard to get people to follow you. You have to kind of get a group of people to believe in what you're trying to accomplish there. So I had to put that aside. And it's been really hard for me because I love this kind of stuff. I love getting out. I love bringing all my toys out here. I love sharing my experience with people. I love getting my friends that maybe not be into the outdoors excited about it. And that's been the biggest reason why I started doing YouTube. It wasn't necessarily to become famous YouTuber or something. It's just to create fun videos I can share and get people excited. But I had to put that aside. And really, the last year has been really hard for me in terms of, we just got to a point in December where I was starting to get investors interested. I was getting invited down to New York and places to where investors are willing to meet with me, investing in my stuff I've created. And then right when things seem like they're going to go, all the hard work's going to getting paid off, this outbreak happens and everybody goes cold. Nobody's sure of anything. And because of that, I'm left in this place of like, what the hell? Or what the F? It's like, I worked all this time, everything aligned, people are interested, I had the right vision, I had the right mind state. I'm creating a product, establishing a business model. Everything's in place, did my homework, did my time, and then when it's time to actually start building it out, the whole world goes hiding. And it just it was just the worst timing in the world. And one of the biggest challenges for people that work for themselves is we don't have salaries unless we make enough money. So I pretty much haven't been paying myself a real salary since I started my company. And it's really hard to have relationships, go do things, travel, do all the normal things I want to do in life with that. And so I've just been really, really, really focusing on work to succeed, to make the money I need to go live the life I want in freedom and be free and continue being my creative self. And so that's pretty much what my last year's been. It's been a lot of working, a lot of late hours in the office, and it's been hard. It's been hard to this day. It's really hard. I probably shouldn't be buying gear, but this is the only thing that saves me from going crazy, is working my ass off in the woods with minimal supplies, trying to be the best person I can be for myself. And I hope some of you out there takes this story, relates it to stuff you're going through, and realize that if you don't keep on pushing and you don't keep on fighting through everything, it ain't gonna fix itself. But if you do keep on trying, I can't say for sure that it will work out. I don't really know. I don't think anybody knows what's going on in the world, but hopefully everything will pan out for the better. But anyways, that's kind of what I've been going through the past year. Realistically, when I stopped doing YouTube, I had to pick and choose what I should do with my free time, and it was working on my projects and not making YouTube videos. So it's a sad reality. Anyways, that's my sob story. And with that being said, I realize everybody's going through a lot of stuff right now, so I hope everybody is healthy and staying safe, and all your loved ones are safe. And we all get through this, and we can all go back to normal, or a new normal, whatever that may be in this life. But I'm not going to give up. I don't quit. I'm a quitter, so I'm going to keep on going for it. And today is just about getting some fresh air, letting off some steam, and showing you some cool views if I can get up there. So I'm going to take a break, and I'll show you guys. I'll start filming the trail. I got all the personal stuff on the table out, and hopefully we'll get some cool stuff coming ahead. So be sure to stay tuned. See you later.